I know that when I was younger, I struggled a lot with my own image and who I was in a sense, because it's like people look at you and they expect you to act a certain way, and then when you don't act that certain way, they're shook because they're like, but how did you not fit in the box that I made for you? You're supposed to fit into it.
I don't even know where to start. That's one of the last place I can begin.
I look like Mickey Mouse on drugs. So today you can see we got the change in lights in the background. I have 24 hours of pure white screen going on. I got that from Nicole Raffi, because if I put the huge softbox lights, then you can't see the colored, you know, background. And I want to be like every other bitch on YouTube who wants to, when they talk about deep things, they come with the colored lights, you feel me? So I need it to like mesh together well so you can get the vibe of what we're talking about here today. So today I wanted to do a chatty video. I've legit been wanting to do this video for so long, but I feel like I'm never articulate enough, and I never know what it is that I want to say about this because it's such a difficult topic and I don't want to come off the wrong way. But I feel like it needs to be talked about because it's just interesting, and I feel like there isn't a lot of representation for, you know, other black girls like me in the UK scene anyway. So I feel like either way, if I talk about this, it's, you know, it's good for someone else to feel seen, you know what I mean? We're gonna be talking about the quirky black girl, okay? Okay, basically I just filmed this video straight after eating, you know, and when you eat things with like red sauce or whatever, your tongue goes yellow, okay? So that is why when I open my mouth to say that's why, okay? I'm not pulling an Emma Chamberlain. I do actually brush my teeth, but I just ate, okay? But I feel like I spoke a lot of facts, so I don't want to refilm that because it's not going to be as authentic. So, yeah. But don't look at my mouth, you know what I mean? Just look at my eyes, okay? The eyes are the window. Raw, my glasses just be breaking every day. Anyway, the eyes are the window to the soul, so pay attention to my eyes. The main topic of this video is talking about the quirky black girl and why I kind of want to not debunk it a bit, but low-key say it's some BS, okay? And don't get it twisted, okay? Don't get it twisted. I'm not coming in here to like erase that whole, you know, community of women. Of course I'm not, because I'm a lucky part of the community. But when you get to the end of the video, you're gonna understand what it is I'm trying to say. For me, when I think about the quirky black girl, it honestly, I see myself in the quirky black girl because there are a lot of things that I might enjoy, or there is a way that I act that can almost be like looked down upon from other people in my own community. Like legit, when I was younger, I remember people would literally be like, oh my god, like you talk white, or you're an Oreo, like you're black on the outside, white on the inside. Whoa, like that is so toxic and ghetto, because it's like, think about it, my blackness does not depend on what my music taste is, or the way I act around people, or how I dress, or anything like that, you feel me? So it doesn't make sense to me that that was my experience growing up and that's how I felt. I felt almost rejected from my own community because I didn't act a certain way. My main point is that people like to call people, okay, the quirky black girl, because they aren't into things that like are stereotypically black, okay? But I think it's so much more than, oh, that's just some white shit that you're listening to or that you enjoy, blah blah blah. Because think about it, I am not in any way different from so many black girls that I know, you feel me? There are so many black girls just all across the world that are into things that aren't stereotypically black, okay? And that proves that that's not some white shit, because literally so many black girls are into it. I think the issue is that people will see you the way that they want to see you, okay? And then when you don't fit that like mold or how they expected to see you, they feel they need to label you to put you into a new box. But bitch, like humans, people, we're not meant to fit into boxes, okay? We are multifaceted, okay? Black women or not monoliths, like this idea that we all have to act the same way and be into all the same things is some BS, because that doesn't, like, it doesn't make that make sense. Like, think of all of the black women, okay, all across the world, and you expect us all to act the same way, all to like the same music, you know what I mean? Like, it's some bullshit to just make a new label and be like, okay, well, you're the quirky black girl and everyone else is, you know, a stereotypical black girl. That's some bullshit, okay? Like, if you look at popular culture, your quirky black girls are people like Rico Nasty, Erykah Badu, people like Janelle Monáe, people like Amanda Stenberg. Like, these people just exist, but they're not unique. So many women out there exist, and they don't act in the way that you would expect the black women to act like. But it's like, what is it that you expect the black woman to act like? It's a disservice to black women and black people everywhere to act like, you know, certain genres of things are just only for white people and certain things are only for black people, okay? Because think about it, right? What I find is crazy is that when white people want to be coming and listening to rap music, okay, which obviously, you know, hip-hop, rap originated in the black community, okay? No one looks at them twice. No one's gonna bat an eyelid. But if it's a black person listening to, oh, why am I listening to my AirPods? Shit. If it's a black person then listening to indie music, everyone is suddenly like, oh, why you listen to that white shit? Or like looking down on you because you like, it's like a different type of music than people expect you to like. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it just doesn't compute that you would expect every single black woman on this earth to be into the same things. Bitch. And this isn't even to say that I don't like rap music. I listen to rap music, but because I listen to indie music or whatever, that all of a sudden kind of makes me like different to people. But no, black women everywhere, okay? So many black women listen to indie music, listen to K-pop, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like it's this whole thing of you acting a certain way or being quirky, you know what I mean? And me, as a very awkward person, it doesn't even make sense to me that people would assume that black girls are just not, like, awkward. Like, make it make sense. Issa Rae had to make a whole show about the awkward black girl for people to really figure out that black women acted this way as well. Like, make it make sense. I'm making a video. I will knock you out. I know that when I was younger, I struggled a lot with my own image and who I was, in a sense, because it's like people look at you and they expect you to act a certain way, and then when you don't act that certain way, they're shook because they're like, but how did you not fit in the box that I made for you? I just think it's, you know what it is, right? It's just important to understand that black women are immutable, okay? We can flip from being sassy to awkward to quiet and all that the same way as anyone else, you know what I mean? I feel like the main reason I'm making this video is like, I just don't enjoy that there's just another box to put you in, do you know what I mean? And I understand, I feel like that's how human brains work, like we're always trying to put labels on things, but it's like, you have to remember, a human being, you can't put a label on a human being that could possibly ever describe who they are, because human beings are so multifaceted and complex, you feel me? Like, I'm not quirky because I'm into indie music sometimes, or I listen to K-pop or whatever. Like, this is mainstream stuff, but because people have a certain idea of what a black woman is, all of a sudden they appear quirky to you. I can't stress how many black women exist outside of the stereotype, okay? Because the stereotype is just a stereotype. Like, people don't fit into that. Like, no matter, it's like, no matter the person, even if you try to label them one thing, there are so many other things. Like, I feel like we can never just be black, you know what I mean? Like, what if I'm just a black woman, okay? I'm not an angry black woman. I'm not a quirky black woman. I'm just a black woman, okay? Like, it's not that difficult, dude. I just feel like I don't need to fit into a certain box. to be able to be palatable to other people. You do know what I mean? I feel like this isn't a difficult concept to understand. It's really not. It's like, because people have such a 2D version of what a black woman is, they don't even look deeper to think what are the things could a black woman be into. And so if you're into things that aren't in that stereotype, people are confused. Like, take Rico Nasty for example, okay? Rico Nasty is not your stereotypical black girl, because in the stereotype you won't see her metalhead, like edgy kind of style. You just don't see that as a stereotypical black girl, and yet she is a black woman, okay? And the fact that she doesn't fit the stereotype doesn't take away from her blackness, because that's not what blackness is. Like, your blackness isn't defined by your music taste, your dress sense, or like anything you're into. Are you starting to see why I mean like the quirky black girl is some BS? It's weird, okay? Because although so many quirky black girls exist, I just don't be seeing the representation there on YouTube a lot. It's very difficult for black women everywhere in everything that we do, kind of, but to get recognition in spaces on YouTube that aren't necessarily about makeup or hair, like, I just don't be seeing that many black women in the lifestyle area of things. And like with Kelly Stamps, the way that she has blown up has been really inspiring, because it makes you remember that, bitch, like, you can really do anything it is that you want to do, despite any ideas that people may have about you, or that you may even have about yourself, like limiting beliefs because, oh, well, you don't see many, you know, women in your like niche or whatever that are like you, that are successful. So you think you can't be successful, but of course you can. Look at Kelly Stamps. Before Kelly Stamps, I'd never watched a YouTuber like her, okay? And there she is, being successful as a black woman that doesn't fit the stereotype. I mean, and this is a very like, we live in a society video, because it's true. Make it make sense that we always feel the need to label things and people and try to understand them via our words or our ideas of them, when that's not it. You know, it's like when people rush into relationships and they have a certain idea of how perfect their partner is, and then they figure out that their partner is actually a human being who makes mistakes and isn't exactly the way that they thought they were, and then like, oh, you changed. It's like, no, you just didn't open your eyes. Why do we always push conformity? Like, imagine in my own community, because I didn't fit in the way people wanted me to fit in, people would point it out or whatever. Like, what does that do for you? Because now I just feel other in a place where I'm supposed to feel connected. And the reason that I say this as well is because when you are a second generation, I don't know if I'm first generation or second generation, but like a second generation immigrant, seeing other black people around you, especially here where it's such a like predominantly white area, you kind of automatically have this sort of connection, because it's like you just have this shared experience no matter what, right? The fact that the quirky black girl is a thing just shows how we as like a society just think that all black women are the same. You know, and I'm not surprised, because when you think about it in the media and representation, you're seeing women through like a white person's eyes, you know? Like white people, probably white male as well, white male directors trying to portray a black woman on screen, but they only have their ideas of black women from other, you know, shows and things, rather than actually being around a black woman in real life. It's like life imitates art, but also art imitates life. I don't know, there isn't just one black woman. The way we are all different shades and from different walks of life, we also like different things. I just don't think it's that complicated, do you know what I mean? I feel like I legitimately spoke in circles, if that makes sense. And I am not gonna do a long talking video like this again, because I have so many ideas that I can't put it into one. But if I were to sum this up, the reason that the quirky black girl is some BS is because a lot of the things that are stereotypically like quirky for the quirky black girl are so normal, but because we have this stereotypical idea of what a black woman is, we then feel the need to then add another label to a different group of black women to like separate them from us, the stereotype that we have for black women. But actually, hella black women are into non-stereotypically black things because black women are people, okay? And there are things that are outside of the black community that can be enjoyed by people that aren't white. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. That's it for today. If I upload this, I will be very surprised because I don't know if anything I just said made any sense, and I literally did like 2 takes, so I might like snip them together because I feel like I made good points in my last take, but I don't think it made any sense. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.